Cantele is the head women's lacrosse coach at Gettysburg College, as well as a member of the class of 1983. In her 22 years as head coach, her teams have been to 5 NCAA semifinals and won the 2011 NCAA Division III National Championship. The Bullets have won 8 Centennial Conference championships, and she has twice been named the National Coach of the Year. In 2013, she was a member of the coaching staff for Team USA as they won the championship at the Women's Lacrosse World Cup.
Leadership is empowering yourself and empowering others to make change or to create action. I think a person that has the ability to inspire themselves to do good work or inspire others is a true definition of leadership.
In leading her team, Coach Cantele strives to live up to her own definition of leadership and shares some of her ideas about what makes a good leader.
Some of the characteristics that have helped me be the leader that I strive to be are a willingness to walk your talk. If you're inspiring or challenging others to accomplish and take risks, you yourself have to be willing to do that. And that requires confidence. I have often said that fake it till you make it. And while you may not really know 100% of how things are going to turn out, if you have this aura of confidence, people will follow you. And lastly, the biggest thing, and what I think makes leadership works, is if you believe in the product that you're working with, if you believe in your core values and you have defined what those are, making tough decisions becomes easier if you follow the values that you inherently hold to be a part of your DNA.
Even though she has been very successful in leading her team at Gettysburg over the past 22 years, she constantly works to improve herself and her leadership capabilities.
Always am reading lots of books from coaches and business leaders, and while maybe I don't ever get to meet them, I try to model some of the things that I've learned through those readings. I'm one who's always taking different assessments that might come through via email or through different professional developments to see what my tendencies are and what strengths they bring, what areas of growth are needed. So I would say every day when you walk off the field, I assess how is my demeanor, how is my interaction, how is my communication, and try to keep myself in check with that.
Coach Cantele is able to meet the 4 basic needs of her followers as defined by Gallup's study. Listen as she explains trust, compassion, stability, and hope.
They feel that you can be trusted with some of their most important growth experiences that they want to share with you. And kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think with everything, if people feel that their leader cares about them and values them and gets to know them more than just an employee or a member of a team that they lead, they will perform for you. People are wired to want consistency and want a stable, safe environment, and yet in the world of athletics that is pretty volatile at times. So I think the stability comes in just a physical presence of calmness, but also in a consistent way of working, that you encourage an environment of take risks. It's okay to fail, and the consequences are more you're going to be better at it the next time. While we do want to focus on the future and the hope of great things to come, it doesn't happen without taking care of today. So once we identify where we want to be at the end of this journey, so we see it in the horizon like a destination, but we're driving, in the moment.
One of the primary tasks of a leader is to motivate those that follow her. This can be difficult when the end goal is either far in the future or difficult to achieve. Coach Cantele shares some of her tactics for motivating her athletes.
Well, it's a challenge. A way in which we try to motivate our athletes to stay in the here and now is we put the game in segments these next 5 minutes, this is what we're focusing on. So we're mindful of where we are. So we try to focus on the little things that make big impacts when the game is over during the course of a game. Being the first team to shoot, being the first team to score. So it doesn't focus on the goals and the results as much as the actions to get the results that we're looking for. So that helps us stay in the moment. There are times where students, particularly young students, really need leadership from others. They need to be guided, and sometimes they want the discipline and the authoritative type of approach because they don't always know the answer, and they look to the leader and the adult in charge. Then other times call for a very more laissez-faire approach, where you encourage and enlist your team members to make decisions so that they feel that, again, that they have ownership into the direction and the content of the program that you're running.
Coach Cantele tries to build a great leadership team by hiring assistant coaches who are able to complement her strengths. She concludes the interview with an explanation of how and why she selects those who help her lead.
Hopefully we're all very different. I do try to find people that are very different because then our students who like to be talked at in different ways or like to be led in different ways, they know where they can gravitate toward. I think a successful leader is one who hires people that are smarter than them, and also different, very different. So every athlete on our team, I think, has a connection that will help foster the greatest growth from them. And it may not be them coming to me, which I'm totally good and fine with.